Hi, so thank you for joining me on this channel. I'm still not sure if I'm going to be doing this sort of thing regularly or if the videos I'm currently doing are a one-off. However, in this video I wanted to address a couple of points uploaded by D Marble and Flat Earth Brothers. In these videos they take images from the ISS and overlay them onto images of Earth taken from a larger distance and then conclude that the images must be fake because the two don't match. Now, Simon Dan has already given an explanation as to why their conclusions are false, but I wanted to give it a more rigorous treatment to explain what is actually happening here. But first, let's just actually have a look at their videos.
This is showing usage of a fisheye lens back there, whatever the situation is, and I'll show you how that is in just a little bit. But there it is on his wrist again, the little mirror. It's reflecting upward back towards the camera, but the Earth is down here, but his mirror is showing something else. So, all right. Moving along, you can see how the panels move. You see how the terrain kind of bends around the camera. Anybody that doesn't know, this is fisheye lens in full effect right here. Okay, you know what? Well, here, no, not this one, not this one. I'm gonna try to get it at the very last second of this video. Probably gonna have some stuff pop up. You know what? I'll just take a picture right here. I'll just take a picture right here of this angle. So this is what they're telling you is real. This is what they're telling you is the legit curvature of the Earth right here. So let me get this quick screenshot. Okay. Now let's pull this over here. So now I'm in Cut Pro. This is where I do my video editing. I'll make that screenshot really small. Right there. Okay, so then what you do, you just have a globe. Alright, so you take your globe, shrink that down a little bit, bring that over here, maybe make it a little bit bigger. Okay, so then you go back to NASA's photo, match that up to about where the curvature might be, and just observe what they're telling you reality is. So that right there, that's about good right there. So this is what they're telling you is real from NASA. So just viewing that. Okay, that's about where the curvature lines up. This would have been the top up here. Yeah, it's a little rough, but you get the point. Okay, obviously the curve that's being presented by NASA is just ridiculous because this is what they're showing right here, right here. And this is just from one frame, and you can see how the curvature on that NASA live feed it changes a whole lot in the process of the video as the camera shifts around. You'll see the curvature becoming wider, you'll see it becoming smaller, you see the panels going in and out, and just obviously it's trickery, obviously it's fake, but the idea that they're flying 250 miles in the air at 17,500 miles per hour and showing that degree of curvature, yeah, that's kind of a red flag. So just wanted to share that with you. Yeah, NASA's ridiculous, and I will stand by that. So that's all I just wanted to share with you. Gonna go ahead and wrap this one up. Yeah, but do these for yourself. Go check out these videos where they're showing curvature on whatever it is. These globe believers, they want to show curvature on whatever situation they're talking about. Just take that curvature that they're showing you, compare that to a globe, and see how it pans out. I'm gonna guess that most times it's gonna look something like this. It has no relation to reality. So that's all I got for this one. I just wanted to share that with you. Be good to each other. Take care of yourself. Stay flat. See you next time. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. I hope all of you are safe and that none of you are near this hurricane. This Hurricane Florence we're hearing so much about in the news. And I found some footage that I wanted to share. Don't want to joke about the hurricane because a lot of people are losing their homes to this thing. But I do want to expose some more lies, some fraud. And it's quite impressive. We're going to look at this, what they call high definition camera footage from outside the International Space Station. And I'm going to slow it down, zoom way in, speed it up, that sort of thing. Let you draw your own conclusions about whether or not this is real, and look at some of the destruction that's taking place along the outside of this hurricane, as well as if we zoom way in on the center of this hurricane. But before I do, I want to show you exactly how large this hurricane is. They told us that on September 12th that this thing was around 500 miles in diameter, and they sent us this picture here. I believe Donald Trump tweeted this picture out of the hurricane as it's approaching the east coast of the United States, and it was growing at this point to around 500 miles in diameter. And you can see I've measured it here. They're right. It's pretty big. But according to the NASA imagery, either A, NASA is lying, because if you compile this image, screenshot it, and match it up with a globe and look at how big it is, it's wider than the United States almost. And if you were to take that line that's as wide as the hurricane and lay it along the widest part of Earth, and Earth's diameter is around 8,000 miles, you can only fit 3 of these, which would mean that Earth is 1,500 miles in diameter, which we know that's not true. So I'm pretty sure this footage is bogus, and there's no way that the hurricane is that big. We would all know about it because right now the whole entire US would be underneath that hurricane. So quite impressive if it's that large, but let's go ahead and look at the footage and make our own judgments here.
So first let's address the point that D-Marble makes. Yes, it is a fisheye lens and no one is claiming otherwise. A fisheye lens is used to capture a greater field of view, but this comes at a cost of aberrations in the image. This results in the curvature of the Earth changing as the camera moves, so D-Marble is not comparing like for like. Now, what is irritating from both videos is the technique that they do use, and it's wrong. And I will go through and show why it is not a valid technique. So let's have a look at the mathematics of the situation. We have a sphere and some point, which is some distance dr away from that sphere. Now this point is where the ISS is. The surface area of the sphere that is visible from the ISS is bounded by tangent lines which pass through the point where the ISS is. We can now connect the center of the sphere to the point where the tangent line intersects the surface of the sphere. Now, this line is 90 degrees to the tangent by definition. We can now draw in another line which is the same length as the previous line just to complete the triangle. And for completeness, we'll just mirror this across. Now, to find the total surface area that is visible from the ISS, we need to find this angle. And now we have all of our parameters. Let's actually have a look at some equations. Now from trigonometry, we know that the cosine of an angle is equal to the adjacent over the hypotenuse, or in this case, that's r over r plus dr. We can also rearrange this a little bit to find the answer for the angle. And from geometry, we can also find the visible area using this expression here. Now, this is quite easy to derive if you know calculus, but it is basically the surface area of a cap of a sphere. Now, we can now plug in values for the ISS and Earth. So we have the radius of Earth, which is 6,371 kilometers, and dr here is 330 kilometers. And when we plug in those values, we get that the angle θ1 is equal to 0.315 radians. And we can use that information to get the visible surface area, which is approximately 12.5 million kilometers squared. This is roughly 2.5% of the Earth's surface area. Now, the implication is that if you assume that the area visible from the ISS is a hemisphere of the Earth, and you measure the size of an object, such as a landmass or a hurricane, as a fraction of the visible area, then the measured size of your object is significantly larger than reality. To demonstrate this, I've made a little animation. So what I've done is painted a green dot on a blue sphere, and I made the camera orbit around the object from a large distance. So if we look straight down onto the green dot from this distance, we see the green dot surrounded by blue. However, as we decrease the distance to the object, we see that the ratio of green to blue increases until we can't see any blue anymore. Now, in this animation, I've set it so the camera actually looks at the edge of the green, so you can see the blue disappear, and also when we are close to the surface, we see that we can still observe curvature. Now, the values used for this animation is actually consistent with the values used for the ISS at 330 kilometers from the surface of the Earth. Now, I hope that this demonstrates why these methods used by D-Marble and mostly Flat Earth brothers are invalid. So thank you for watching.